All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for the bracket reset. How else could this tournament end after the back and forth between group stage, winners final, grand final set 1? It only seems right that CATBALL versus dogbreaking play a bracket reset. And we're going to be diving right into that for the first time since 2021, after we had a tiebreaker in 2022, a couple of not-so-close grand finals in 2023, 2024, 2025. 2026 is delivering here in Hippo Cup 9 with the bracket reset, and I am excited after the first set that we just got to see.
Yeah, lots of intel gathered. CATBALL looking to go on a tear throughout that first matchup, and now looking to see if they can do the same in bracket reset. I've seen many a match where the bracket reset goes very differently. Opposite days have occurred in between these matches, the players opting to take very little break, but what has changed is these bans. It is going to be the No Mod 5 ban on the side of dogbreaking, as well as the Free Mod 5 ban. Meanwhile, for CATBALL, they switched up their HR3 ban for a DT6. You're seeing how strong of a performance they pulled through on there, but DT4 stayed the same for the winning team.
Yeah, I think we were saying as those last couple of picks for dogbreaking are coming in that first set. Is this DT6 now ban worthy for CATBALL? And the answer seems to have been yes. Likewise, the Free Mod 5, which I predicted No Mod 5 Free Mod 5 would be dogbreaking's bans before the match started. So I was a little surprised that they went with Hard Rock 4 as their second ban. But correcting that mistake, as it were, after, we saw what happened on the Free Mod 5. It was not necessarily the greatest for dogbreaking, so some good adjustments, I think, to the second set here. And unsurprisingly, dogbreaking with first pick in the second set are going to go right back into their first pick of the first set with the DT2. It was the only map that they won until the score was 6-1. So clearly one of very few that feel pretty good for them. Though I must remind you, that map was pretty darn close. For being their first pick, it was only determined by about 2.7 million.
Yeah, very sketchy as a pick for dogbreaking with that 2 mil difference, but surely a little bit of a different showing here from the team. Now that they're a little bit warmed up, of course they did just play a full hour worth of gameplay, so trying to see if stamina becomes an issue for any of the players here, or if it's just all warm up and ready to ball game. Amasetic, Aheo, Maxim, Misha, Awa, usual tap-in squad for each of these teams. Toki's Matball also re-enter the lobby alongside that core duo. Flames, Pez, been putting in work here.
We are ready to go. We're going to see if these players can continue performing at the level that they have been. CATBALL really ran away with the first set, and they don't want to slow down. They want to keep that pedal to the floor, and if they can start off by flipping this map to a win, and all it would take would be Amasetic having a little bit less of a heroic performance, right? He was the big reason for dogbreaking winning this in the first set. If he is any lower in level than he was then, and CATBALL performs the same, this could flip pretty simply, just like that. But we do see plenty of breaks early on. This intro is so hard. This is like, I feel like in terms of just difficulty to combo, this is up near the top, but you have Maxim holding on to combo for dogbreaking, Batball holding on to combo for CATBALL coming out of it.
Yeah, and this is looking pretty strong for Maxim right now. It is the overall team score hopping back into form for CATBALL. Batball actually top combo in the lobby for now, especially with that Maxim break. It's going to be fully on their side. For as close as the pick was last time out for dog breaking, it was an early advantage to CATBALL then as well. And then eventually it was Amacetic with that 800 combo massive carry once the breaks came through. Right now it is Pez and Flames trying to extend the lead. Misha Owl holding onto the recovery that does fall. And now it is going to be incredibly tough for dog breaking to re-enter this, as Flames has actually been having quite a match here. He's top scored his team on a handful of maps that you would not be expecting to. And combo going to be no different here as we enter the cut stream section of this DT2.
It's just going to be eyes on Flames here, the big meaningful combo for CATBALL, trying to hold off the combined efforts of Ahio and Maxim. They've recovered quite well, and you see some breaks coming in. Batball struggling a bit. There goes Flames here. That's big. Ahio and Maxim both hold, and that's going to bring this score gap over if they can continue. Ahio does go down, but it's Maxim crucially, no, not able to hold on long enough, and Misha Awa, who was the biggest recovery combo, is going to go down as well. And now we watch Pez, who has been so good both yesterday and in the first set today, to try to build up a little bit more of a lead. That's not going to happen, though. And, oh boy, it's scary scenes again on this map, much like it was in that first set. It's only 3 million separating teams, but this is a combo-dense map, and it is a long one. And 3 million does not feel safe by any stretch of the imagination. This could still flip if dog breaking can build up and continue to hold some combo through the last quarter of the map, and CATBALL continues to break more and more.
Yeah, that triple section taking names on the side of CATBALL with Flames, with Batball and Toki having a really rough go of it. Ahio Amacetic drop, but it's Max and Misha on those top combos, unfortunately not to hold, and it's Flames once again. There's always one, and this time it was Flames for that period to maintain the 2 mil difference. It is still slight combo advantage on the side of dog breaking, but will it be enough to reclaim the lead with just these final moments? Ahio is covered by Flames, and with that quad break, that will seal the deal. CATBALL, phenomenal showing here, getting the break point to start off the match. It was close last time, and this time showing that it is capable to win.
Wow. And it was close again, mind you, both times around, decided by the barest of margins. This time 1.1 million score between the teams, after last time was 2.7 million score. But as you said, this time goes over to CATBALL, and that feels huge, because what in the world do you do as dog breaking if you can't even win the tapping picks in the way that you did last week to win that winner's final? You are in a spot of bother. If you are dog breaking and you are losing maps in the skill set that won you the winner's final, that got you to grands from winner's side in the first place, this gets sketchy if CATBALL keeps performing very well on their own picks the way they did in set number 1.
Mm-hmm. And you thought there would be maybe enough time to do more investigating if you are on the side of dog breaking, but last match ended rather unceremoniously. Ethan Tricks just completely closing out any potential continuation, and for CATBALL, it is the same first pick that did them so well in those first 2 matches. It's back to the Nomad 1 first pick, back to a team that has the top 2 scores on it, even with a 11 mil difference. Even with a little bit of margin of error, CATBALL incredibly strong on this Nomad 1.
They've looked really good on this twice, and we're dominant on it twice, so no reason not to expect the same thing to happen for a third time. I have an interesting little bit of statistics work that I did maybe around a year ago. I put together a list of 80 different tournaments whose grand finals went to bracket resets. In 56 of those 80 tournaments, the team from losers' side ended up winning. Just something to stick in your back pocket to think about as this bracket reset here continues onward. It feels like loser side teams, for some reason, have something of an advantage. I can't put it into words as to exactly why that might be, but it does seem to be there.
Well, when your back is against the wall, it's when you're most strongest, for my money. A little bit of extra nerves, but it keeps you locked in, and there is a bit of a roster change here. I don't believe Kirochi played this last time. I'm gonna verify real quick.
Kirochi did not, in fact. Kirochi is replacing Origin. Wait, Origin was their best score on this. Interesting.
3WC, Romania versus South Korea.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Origin gone.
Okay.
Question mark.
All right, so Origin only played 4 maps in the first set. Bottom scored the Nomad 2. Let me look at what else. Was near the bottom on Hard Rock 2. Did not have a great score on Fremod 3. So, not having maybe his best day anyway. Worth noting. It looks on paper like a bad player to lose, obviously, because his skill cap is really high. But if he's not performing at his absolute peak, maybe there's a world where swapping him out for some of those maps ends up working out for your team if you have another person who's comfortable on them. That said, I don't want to lose Origin if I'm dog breaking by any stretch of the imagination.
And I don't want to see CATBALL lose accuracy. They're holding on to 2 SSs right now, man. Like, that is crazy. Out of this first little pocket. Oh, Ayo as well on the SS. Everyone who's still holding on to an FC XS Twilight still holding on to that SS out of the break there. But Misha Awa on some solid backup. Ethan Trix has Dido covered. So it's just 1 extra FC's worth of difference for CATBALL right now. But as we head into the second diff spike, we're going to start to see some of those breaks come through. It's 1 of the FC's down for Twilight. No breaks on dog breaking just yet. Next star pattern only takes out Kirochi. Triple break for CATBALL. Very beneficial for the winning team of that initial match. And now it's Misha Awa versus Pez, and just Pez. He's doing the carry that he did in that Irishman match back to form on the Nomad 1 as Pez holding on through the second PI.
God, man, the level Pez is at currently is simply outrageous. He is playing such freaking good Osu. Yes, this weekend, but just in general, like, dude has just been on another level, and does not look to show any signs of slowing down anytime soon. He makes so many of these picks look so easy, and it's so huge for CATBALL having that incredible late round consistency scaling carry as the lead stretches out to Twilight. It's okay, GNX missed there too. But that lead stretches out to 6 million.
Still unreal performance, and we still have a third of map remaining. Pez surpassing the 1K combo mark. Misha Awa again on that recovery, but it is far too little too late with the break. RNG. I mean, this has been such a strong pick for them, and last time out it was the Ethan Trix difference on the aim. Now, showing their roster depth, showing how many aim specialists they have, the reason why they were picking aim so much in that initial match between the two in finals, coming to fruition with RNG continuing to hold. I mean, 10 mil difference, what a sight to behold for CATBALL, still continuing the story.
They're just feeling it. I talked to Ethan Trix the other day before the matches started this weekend, just wishing him good luck, of course, and he did say that he felt really good and the team felt really good on this pool, and we've seen that play out now, about to be 2 maps into a bracket reset with them at a score of, what's that going to be, 18-3 in maps so far this weekend. Their team is just locked and loaded and ready to crush all opposition on this pool.
It's RNG once again to pull through here, holding on to the tail end. One more little diff spike here with the burst for RNG, but has surpassed Pez's score even. on the map. This is why I've been saying RNG OWC, it needs to happen. He's one of the best aim players in the country, maybe in the game, and closes it out with that final burst and a 17 million score to boot. That's more than half of Dogbreaking's whole team score. Unreal from RNG.
That's a crazy performance, and you know, you might be onto something there, right? Because it feels like year in, year out, USA OWC's weakness is raw aim. So yeah, let's put RNG on the team. Let him cover that skill set in the late rounds, man. We just need that guy. Oh boy, what a score that is! 1 miss and a 17 mil total. That is impressive. It's not going to be quite at the level of Pez in their first match yesterday against Irishman, but it is the second best. Well, yeah, it is the second best, with Pez having 3 of the 4 best scores on this map, by the way, this weekend now, which is also quite impressive in its own right. And just like that, Hubba, it is 2-0. It is breakpoint. It is consolidation. CATBALL, like I said, you know, you want to keep the pedal down. You win that first set in the fashion that you did. You do not want to let any of that advantage slip. You want to keep the momentum. You want to keep it going. And they are looking to do that already.
Yeah, and if I'm Dogbreaking here, I suppose I'm still looking for new avenues, right? They were so dominant on that DT6, and CATBALL's answer was just like, well, okay, goodbye DT6, right? Like, it was their strongest pick by such a wide margin. It's just you snap ban it, right?
Yeah, see ya.
So it does lean into something like this HR3, which is now open, was the ban in place of it. With like Free Mod 1, which I am unsure of the reluctance here from Dogbreaking on that map, honestly. Feels like tech and speed, very strong skill sets for that team, but HR3 gonna do plenty of the trick. It's a mental cruelty song. It's 220 BPM hard rock stamina, and I think this leans into maybe a little bit of added comfort for the speed players on Dogbreaking in comparison to CATBALL, because you look at the speed players on CATBALL and thinking of like Toki and Batball, they're more aligned with like hidden players. Like on the Nomad maps, it's Toki filling hidden, it's Batball on so many reading picks. Hard Rock feels like a little bit of dissuasion from some of the members of the CATBALL's tapping roster.
Yeah, the overlap there in the skill set, maybe not the absolute greatest. So we will be seeing, I think, a pretty solid Dogbreaking pick here. They did wait a while last week as well to pick the kind of equivalent map, which I say equivalent very loosely. It was Gario Tose last week, and didn't win it by a huge margin. But this one is just takes that and ratchets the difficulty way up. I mean, you're going from 200 BPM 2 minutes to 220 BPM 4 minutes, and just harder flow patterns, more stamina draining, more speed requirement. So, you know, you got to figure there was a good reason that CATBALL banned out this map in the first set. I think we may find out why. You wonder though, right? Like they were willing to flip the ban over the DT6 because of how poorly the DT6 ban went, or the DT6 map went last time. So what does that mean we're gonna see here out of the Hard Rock 3 that they were, of the two, this was the one that they were willing to swap the ban rather than the DT3, right? Like this, they feel a little more comfortable, but it's like those 3 maps were all gonna be favored to Dogbreaking, I think.
I think it's just how close the tapping was in this match in comparison to last. You think, well, they swamped us on tapping last time, we got to ban at least one of them. And in this case, it was 2 of them, but that DT4 remaining through the 300 BPM, just not in CATBALL's wheelhouse here. But opting for the Hard Rock streams is Pez and Flint. You have to think about that core duo so strong in this kind of map, and it looks like they're going to be the only combos in the lobby to boot. A little bit of recovery from Ahio Amacetic, but FCs remain on that core tapping duo. Accuracy be damned in the realm of Flames here, but Pez with that 99.5. This is his skill set, this kind of hardcore Nomad 2. Just slap Hard Rock on top of it for the fun of it.
Funny, that's pretty much the exact description I had for this map when I looked at it. I was like, okay, this is Nomad 2, but with Hard Rock applied. Was that an actual break, or was that Bancho? Like, what is he doing missing there if that's a real break? It was not. Okay, thought so. Both Toki and Pez getting Banchoed there momentarily, but look at the combo building up all over the place, man. That's what's going to happen on a map like this, and oh boy, that was a big, legitimate miss, and it's down to Flames tier for the combo for CATBALL. You still have Ahio and Amacetic for Dogbreaking. Score gonna go over. We're only a third of the way through, and the score is not going to go over as Amaseta goes down. Flamesteer continues to hold. There he goes, finally. Ahio time. He was their hero last week. Gonna need him to get on a level that can carry some of these picks this week, I feel.
And it does seem like it. He got the 1.1k combo prior to the break. Similar accuracy to Pez here. Mishawa picking up the slack to match Pez. That added hidden going to be very beneficial for the combo difference here. Amacetic with that 300 recovery as well to cover Flames. Right now it's just a 1 mil difference in this map. So much more combo dense than anything we've seen previously. Just these raw death streams, unrelenting, any break. You're going to see much wider score differences than in previous picks, but that doesn't mean the map is not as close, if not more close, than it was prior with how high the combos are in this lobby at the moment.
When it's a double break for dog breaking is what it is. It's Ahio. I'm saying it gets a triple break from dog breaking as Maxim goes down as well. And look at what that score gap just did. As you're talking about, the score can go so quickly to one side or the other when the combo density is this high, when the combos get as large as they are. It is Misha Awa desperately trying to hold down the fort here for dog breaking, but you've got 4 players with big combo on CATBALL, and that score lead out to 7-8 million immediately. There's a triple reset for them as well, though. And we're back to the 1v1. It's Pez versus Misha Awa. The heart attack of a lifetime potentially coming in as the breaks come thick and fast. It's Ahio to build some combo back up. That's pretty crucial for dog breaking, because Misha Awa still matching Pez, which means Ahio had free combo. Not anymore, though. There goes Misha Awa. Wait a second. It's Pez time. It has been Pez time. It is never not Pez time. You look up at a clock. You don't see numbers. You don't see that it's 11:35 a.m. in the Eastern time zone. You see the name Pez, and he is keeping the time going for CATBALL.
What an absolute tear this has been. I mean, he had 1k combo before. This has brought it back up to 1.5 and growing. You see a wasteland around him by comparison, and Pez in this final showing. You think you're going to face Pez in a 1v1. You got to ban the Nomad 2. You got to ban the Hard Rock 3 pending skill set. And this is absolutely why. He is showing his skill cap and his medal in spades here, as it's a 51 million team score. If he holds on to combo through the ending, he will match dog breaking entire score, but unfortunately not to be with that kick slider. But what a performance, just absolutely swamping the lobby.
You keep wondering how long Pez can just continue putting up these crazy scores, and he keeps answering in the affirmative that he's showing no signs of slowing down. He is simply uninterested in losing a single point. He is uninterested in anything less than perfection, because what in the world are we seeing out of that man? 56 million score all on his lonesome. Pick any 2 members of dog breaking, and he's got enough score to match them. And that's 3-0 double break point already in this set for CATBALL. They get the breakpoint to start things off. They get the breakpoint on the map that they banned out in set 1 here in set 2. Everything is just falling their way as now their own pick to try to consolidate the double breakpoint for the 4-0 lead.
Right. Like, I don't know, if I'm dog breaking here, my morale is squandered, right? Like that. You think, like, finally, an opening, they banned this last time. There has to be some semblance of weakness presented to me on a platter. Nah,
so you thought.
It's past time. Like, oh man, that is so tough for dog breaking. But now, back over to CATBALL, and I think they have already wrote the playbook on how to beat dog breaking on this pool. It's got to be a 3-3 next, but no. It's Nomad 6. They go into a new avenue with Nomad 6 here, and it is the Rhythm Nomad map. Polyphia playing God, not played yet in either of their matches.
Somebody call up Tim Henson, because we've got a sighting of Polyphia here in Grand Finals Bracket Reset. This is really emotional for me. This is my favorite Polyphia song, and I'm like a big Polyphia fan, so like I'm so happy to see this in this pool. And I get it though, despite them not having played this previously. They picked the Hard Rock 2 in both previous matches and won it, which has a little bit, if anything's going to be similar to this, I think it's going to be that, with the finger control, aim control elements, the kind of awkward tapping that you expect out of Polyphia map. So they are, I think, more than capable of playing a map like this to a very, very high level. And Ethantrix is playing, he might not be at the level Pez is at today, but he's still playing quite well, and he's the type of guy that can put up a real good score on this type of map.
Yeah, it feels like there have been, like, the only Nomad map that has been picked was that Nomad 2, which isn't even Ethantrix's skill set. I mean, Nomad 1 as well, but again, like, he was not in for that map, question mark? It was RNG, Flames, Pez, and Twilight, so like, seeing him on a skill set that he's actually going to be comfortable on, this feels somewhat like a showcase pick, right? Especially with CATBALL in the lobby as well, over RNG here. The Rhythm players ready to pounce on this style of map in the Nomad 6 slot.
Jelly Chuffs, do come out. God, this just feels so scary of a pick for CATBALL, man. Batball, Ethan, Pez, to say nothing of Flamesteer, who's been like having a super good match as well. Like, okay, sure, you've got Dito, Misha, Maxim, and Nathan Ram on the other side, but like, does CATBALL care? I don't think CATBALL cares.
Yeah, I mean, Maxim has been playing solidly. He hasn't had carry performances, but he's been playing solidly, and you can expect Nathan Ram, in a similar boat to Ethan here, finally playing a map of his specialty. So it's going to be my eyes on those two in particular here. Ethan, Nathan could be seeing some solid 1v1s here if all wake up and are ready to play in form. A little bit of a slow start here, but once the gas starts running, it does not stop.
Which is going to be right about now as you get into the quick little 1-6 burst. The aim control pops in, the slider aim comes in, GNX, Maxim, Misha, Awa all fall instantly. And that is a very poor harbinger of things to come if you are rooting for dog breaking to make this one interesting, as all 4 members have already fallen, and all 4 members of CATBALL had continued to hold. Finally, Flamesteer will be their first break as Batball comes next, but it is Ethan and Pez, the dynamic duo, to keep the FCs intact through the first quarter of this pick.
Yeah, this is incredibly strong from Ethan and Pez, bottom row, still holding on to their FCs, and it's Maxim, Nathan Ray, and Misha Awa on paper.
Oh, the slider caught 2
combo
people.
advantage, but it's the dump. Oh my god. Just explosion on that slider, and it's still Ethan and Pez, man. I already doubled the score. It's like...
Ooh, Pez almost got slidered. I'm sorry, I watched his cursor. He came so close to missing on that slider.
Man, if you're dog breaking, what do you do? Like, this is unreal. They've already doubled your score again.
You just kind of go next, I think. I mean, we're about to be 2/3 of the way through by the time we come out of this slow section, and CATBALL is just going to be up by 10 million. So this map is pretty well a foregone conclusion. Because even with Pez and Ethan holding the FCs, you still have backing combo on Batball and Flames as well. So you're dog breaking. You're like, okay, this is a them map. We just go next and try to find an us map. Because CATBALL is doing just absolutely absurd things on this pick, and I mean, just look. Oh, Pez, no. You're ruining my narrative here, brother. How dare you ruin my narrative? Both of you missed before we get to the real build-up, but here it's going to be the crazy little stream. GNX just completely imploded. Flamesteer, Batball, Mishawa, Bax, and Nathan Ram all held through there. It's a 13 million score lead. It really does not matter too much.
Yeah, with the no-fill, I mean, you think like standard SV1, 13 mil, no problem. They're holding on to 500 combos that'll come in short time, but it's Flames holding on to the anchor, as has been the story throughout this match. It's always just been one, and right now it's Flames, unfortunately, to note lock on a stack of all things, but it's dog breaking far too far behind, and CATBALL will be doing the job 4-0 outside of this one. Consolidated second break point.
Gotta say, impressive stuff from dog breaking, by the way, to hold 3 giant combos into that ending. Mishawa, Maxim, Nathan Ram all held like 700-ish or greater combo into the end there. CATBALL had just built up so big a lead that it really didn't matter. But that got a lot closer than it might have been otherwise. That said, it's still a point, and that's CATBALL 4-0. And man, they are just looking good in this matchup today, as it's a consolidated double break point. And unfortunately, I feel bad, Hubba, because this has been a pretty fun watch, and you have to go actually play the video game now.
Such is life. Have a fun match, though, guys. It has been a blast watching CATBALL. I expect to do the thing.
So we're going to be saying so long farewell to Hubba Wubba. We thank him for his service in the first set and a half of this match. And we will be replacing him with certainly not a downgrade at all. In fact, it's going to be none other than Mr. Chillier pair coming in to join for the remainder of this match. Chillier, you're joining CATBALL up 8-4-0 in a matchup that they lost 8-3 last week. And so we're going to welcome you in at a very interesting point in this match.
This is one of the Hippo Cup Grand Finals of all time. I've been saying it behind the scenes, but I was stunned when I heard that the first set of this finished in, just over an hour? I generally expect Hippo Cup Grand Finals matches to sort of run for that, hour and a half, 2 hour mark, best of 15, right on the marker, just because of how strenuous these matches are, and the match costs on CATBALL when I opened up that MP link were stunning. They were visually stunning. I have seen many a performance from Pez, the man himself, but that was quite the match cost to see.
We've talked a whole bunch over the course of the match thus far about just the incredible level that Pez has been at this whole weekend, both in the first match yesterday against Irishman, first set against dogbreaking here today, and really hasn't slowed down at all in the second set either. They also had the top four performance scores or match costs in the first set were all CATBALL. You had Pez, Ethan, RNG, Flamesteer, their core four, just doing unspeakable things. And it's been tough because dogbreaking won a type of map last week that they have not been able to win this week, and you can see them now really switching it up. This is going to be the Nomad 4 Null Apophenia, which is everybody's favorite late round Nomad 4, it feels like. This is going to be the first time we'll be seeing it between the first set and this one, and it represents a very big departure into a skill set that dogbreaking, I think, just have to have hope will work for them, because if it doesn't, they're really just out of it.
Yeah, this is a big hope pick, and God, I love this map just as the next, as much as the next person. The tech roster on dogbreaking is quite strong. They certainly have the names for it, but those guaranteed 2 hiddens are very tough to pull through here. And from what I've seen in this matchup, honestly, the scoreline is nothing of the result of dogbreaking's performance. I think they've looked okay. I think they've put up some scores that they should be very happy with. They took a couple points in the first set, but this is just one of those grand finals where you are going up against an absolute titan of a team composition. And looking at this roster from CATBALL, you've got either OWC or borderline OWC players throughout the entire United States playing every single map, and they're having a good day, and that's the kicker right there. So goodness me, good luck to dogbreaking. I love the accuracy I see on many of their players right out of that intro, so hopefully that carries them through a bit.
Yeah, just a tiny little lead for dogbreaking off the accuracy, but it's still FCs on all 8 players thus far as we start to get into the real meat of this map. The slider aim increasing in difficulty, those little awkward tapping patterns coming in as well. First break is going to be Misha Awa. We're going to see plenty more, I'm sure, but for now, it's a small advantage to CATBALL. Flamesteer will be their first to go down as Misha Awa finds a second miss. Third of the way through, this is balanced. Pretty dead even, as, man, the level of performance we are seeing from everyone in this lobby is incredible. There goes Pez, RNG, Kusaria, Ahio. It is GNX gone as well. It's Ethan Tricks. Who else finally falls but builds a tiny lead in Flamesteer with the biggest combo in the lobby?
That is such a big million score lead off of that from Ethan Tricks alone, the highest in the lobby now. And like you said, Flamesteer holding that 300 is just going to keep them at bay for the remainder of this slow section halfway through the map. And a 2.5 million score lead for CATBALL. That is huge on a tech map with not a whole lot of combo density in the slow section.
CATBALL had a score of 18.8 million yesterday on this map, winning it by a tiny margin over Irishman, looking to put up a similar score again today. Down goes Pez. It is, I think, combo now in favor of CATBALL. It was about dead even. Now it's back to their side. Ahio and GNX both go down right after Kirochi. And CATBALL going to continue to feel better. They will now have a greater score than yesterday, and it's just going to continue to grow. We thought they played well against Irishman. They're playing even better today. Watch out for the Misha Awa combo coming into the ending here. It's only about 4 million score, but Ethan Tricks nearly matching should be enough to hold him off.
Yeah, double break. There goes RNG, though. Pez is holding a little bit.
Misha Awa.
Is there enough density at this ending, though? It's 5 million score. I don't think there's going to be quite enough here. And there's the slider break. Pez hit that.
Yeah, Pez. No, the level Pez is at. Can we just talk about the entirety of CATBALL on this map, by the way? Just all 4 of their scores. Outrageous. Just completely outrageous. We're going to finish it with a 5 million, almost dead even, 5 million score win. And that matches the now 5-0 score in the match. 7.1 million on Ethan, 6.1 million on Pez, 5.9 and 5.8 on Flamesteer and RNG. All 4 of those scores are all better by 800,000 or so than 3 of the 4 scores on dogbreaking. What I am saying is that it is not just that dogbreaking are playing ever so slightly at a lower level than last week, but it is also that CATBALL are playing at an unbelievable tier of performance today.
It's consistency. It's everyone being comfortable. They're ready to play today. You can just tell that they came into this grand finals knowing that they needed to bracket reset and knowing that they needed to do whatever they could in order to try and make it through this match with how strong dogbreaking's roster was, and they're doing it. They put in the prep. They were clearly ready for every single pick that this match had to throw at them. Coupled with, you know, the bonus fact that everyone is also playing well, which is sort of that factor that you, like, can't entirely control. They've sort of hit the trifecta in this match right now, where there is just no stopping them once they get this momentum, and this free mod 3 is going to completely drag them through into the next pick.
When you have a roster constructed for late stage, you get to late stage and your players are on a high level on the given day, I mean, you're just rolling. And this is a map that they picked and they won in the first set. It was their second pick of that set. In fact, they went into it pretty early. It was not a massive score margin. It was a 1.1 million score victory. So not like a runaway, not a humongous giant win, but they are more than comfortable, I think, with it nonetheless to go back into this pick. And, you know, how this map went last time was they built up a lead and just they maintained that lead because nobody can combo the ridiculous nonstop aim section in the last quarter. Very interested to see if anybody hits any of that this time because, like, just hand them the trophy, hand them the badge if so, because it's like 300 straight combo just jumps.
Well, they've got RNG on their roster, which does leave some crazy aim plays to be a possibility in those tough sections here, and he is staying in for the map, but I like that they waited for this map, given that it was maybe a little bit closer, given that there was perhaps a little bit of uncertainty around this pick from the first set, leaving it for slightly later in the match just in case something else goes awry on the map. It makes sense to not give that up early. They kept the momentum now, and they're sort of picking it in where it may have been close, but now you've sort of been, like, slogging on dogbreaking for 5 picks in a row, and maybe they're a little bit less in that, like, energized mode to hit some of those tough jump sections.
Here we go. Oh, dear. That's not what you want to see for dogbreaking at all. A triple reset before we even get out of the intro. It is a break from Flamesteer to match one of them. But 3 FCs against 1. Make that 2 FCs against 1. will give CATBALL just the tiniest bit of breathing room, and you don't need a lot of breathing room in this map. You just need to hold for a third to half of the pick, and then the notes just keep coming, and you're going to see, I think, quite a few X's on player screens. As here we go. There goes Kirochi, the first to fall for dog breaking, and this aim won't stop. Just the rest of the way through. It's just not going to stop after a moment from now. And you've got two big combos, Ethan and Pez, doing their thing. And I think this is just over. I don't think you can come back now if you are dog breaking, unless you do something absolutely ridiculous, which GNX is doing. GNX is doing. Oh my god, it's happening. He breaks, but that's
He brought it.
I think they win now. I was wrong. I think they win now. Wow.
I think they've got it.
Huh.
Oh my gosh, GNX just absolutely ripped that away from them with the hit-in, by the way. With the hit-in.
I can't say I anticipated that to go the way it did. Nobody hit any of that in the first set. This time GNX says, I'm actually going to build, what was that, 664 combo. You're not supposed to do that looking around. Like, that's ridiculous. And that's a breakpoint back.
Yeah, look at the miscounts on dog breaking. They're so much lower on almost every player. Like, you know, Ahio unfortunately sort of makes up the difference, meaning that these teams basically ended with the same number of misses, but that's 20 misses or less on 3 players. That is a good aim day for almost everyone there, combos notwithstanding. That was a big step up from them. They might just want to look for some aim.
I mean, it is worth noting, CATBALL did win the Nomad 1 pretty comfortably, so I don't know what to make of what we just saw, but there is, like, Hard Rock 1 out there if they want it. There's DT1 out there if they want it. There's Fremod 1, which we kept talking about in the first set, that sooner or later it feels like dog breaking should pick the Fremod 1. Never did. There are some options here. If they have people that are on a good aim day or a good aim hour, there's things they can go into.
Well, I'm trying. This pool is maybe a smart idea for them, at least just to try and consolidate this break point. But you sort of hit the juncture of like 5-1. They win an aim pick that is, it's like disrespectful to call it an RNG pick, but it kind of is about who hits the one funny section in the map, unfortunately, which means that they won off of a solo performance, and there wasn't a whole lot of team consistency to be had on that map. You saw the next closest combo was Misha Awa in the 400s, and then the other two players were down sub 200. So the question is, does the consistency exist on some of these other maps for dog breaking to try and consolidate this down? Or do they maybe just have to gamble into another pick that flows through CATBALL? And it does look like they go for the aim, though.
So they're going to run back the DT1. They picked this in the first set. It was won by CATBALL, but it was pretty close. That map was only literally separated by 245k, which is essentially nothing on V1. So I don't hate them going back to this, even if they did lose the tapping pick a couple minutes ago on the DT2 first pick. I don't mind them going back into that particular skill set here. It was so close that, you know, they could have won it with barely anything going differently. Also, I just want to mention real quick that they've now played 3 times, right, over this past 2 weeks, and all 3 of those matches the score was 5-1 at one point. I don't know how this keeps happening, but it's just always 5-1, I guess.
Well, gotta start somewhere. Maybe they can make the turnaround here. They only need to do it the one time. I like this pick because they have Amacetic and Misha Awa up on the top there. Those are my 2 big looks for dog breaking right now. If you can catch Misha Awa on even a semi-decent aim day, they will absolutely shred a pick like Asymmetry here. This is such a Misha Awa map right now. Ahio and Maxim down on the bottom there, both decent speed players. Ahio is maybe getting a little bit of a slower start on that first point that we saw for the aim, but this is more up their alley when it comes to styling here. CATBALL has a hell of a lot of good players for this sort of speedy aim map. My eyes are sort of looking towards, again, maybe the top of that roster, Flames here and Toki. Pez can certainly play this faster aim. CATBALL is definitely not the first player I would have picked to come in for this, but I'm eager to see what our friend Maxi can do here. Hopefully Emasthetic is
Get
showing up.
Emasthetic in here. Yeah, we gotta. CATBALL was in for this last time as well. He was the worst scorer in the lobby, so that is something to keep in mind. But
Poor guy filling.
every little bit of score counted, you know, considering how close it was. So anything he can do is gonna be fine. But see a couple early breaks. Toki falling a couple times. Misha Awa and Maxim as well. So small early lead. CATBALL. This map is just so tricky. The aim requirement and the tapping requirement. Toki is getting aim on tapping map gapped, unfortunately. There was CATBALL as well. Lead's gonna go to dogbreaking.
CATBALL got tapping on tapping map gapped right there on that burst. Yeah, those bursts are just absolutely shredding anyone who can't play this. And there's a full reset from CATBALL. That's a big favor to dogbreaking with Misha Awa having recovered from that earlier miss. And big, comfortable streams for Misha Awa here. 96% accuracy, a single break on Maxim. And look at Emasthetic go, 99.15 as Misha Awa finds another speed player, misses on aim break.
The combo
bro.
The combo just not really building up on most players, but Emasthetic with that high accuracy building up a little bit for himself. I think the combo advantage might, though, be in favor of CATBALL for now. However, we're going to go back into the next Ki, and things could really get interesting here. Down goes Emasthetic. Down goes Flames here. All right, Pez, CATBALL, Toki, what are you guys capable of? Ahio goes down. Emasthetic had already gone down. Maxim falls as well. It's Misha Awa gone. It's Toki time, ladies and gentlemen. It is Toki time. What can he do to try to build a lead here for CATBALL?
Toki has done this in Hippo Cup Grand Finals many a time. He does find a break, but 2 million scores, a pretty good gap for his team there with no support.
It's Ahio versus CATBALL, the two meaningful combos on the board anywhere. CATBALL goes down. Will Ahio be able to hold? No, he will not. And look, it's Toki with just a little bit of combo, but we're in a free section just to build a little bit of score. Every like 10,000 score, 100,000 score is gonna matter. So those tiny little bits of advantage that CATBALL built could be huge as we go into the final Ki. This is still anybody's game. What can Pez do? What can the members of dogbreaking do to try to recover?
It's a break from CATBALL. Pez finds a miss. There's 3 combos standing on dogbreaking. It's only about 1.5 million right here. Big combos into the ending. They need at least 3, and Ahio finds an overstream. It's gonna be so close now. They might have needed that combo. Misha Awa goes down too. Maxim.
It's just a full wipe.
Comes crashing down.
It's the full wipe for dogbreaking, and it's Pez. Who else but Pez? 300 combo at the very end. And CATBALL get the break point right back, just like that.
Oh, it was so close. They had so many combos, but it was one too many scenarios where they found a full reset and there was somebody on the side of CATBALL that had a big combo going, and it basically meant that they pulled nothing back in those free sections, and that lead maintained right off those intro combos.
This is something that Hubba and I were talking about in the first set. That kind of classic USA team thing where you just always look and see somebody somewhere with combo on that side of your screen. Like, there's just always somebody. And CATBALL has been doing that all day today. I mean, it's just they have somehow managed to figure out a way, whether it was Toki a lot of the time on that map, it was Pez at the very end. It's been Pez a lot, to be fair. But man, they're just doing such a good job of maintaining advantages that they build early in maps. And now they are 2 points away from the finish line in... You know, it feels crazy to say this, but what's a remarkably fast match. We have played, let's see, the first set, we played 17 maps, and it's 2 hours in. Like, that's actually pretty crazy fast, no?
That's ridiculous, especially for this tournament. I mean, I think I sort of mentioned it when I came in here today, but as somebody who has played Hippo Cup a not insignificant number of iterations, I have yet to see a grand finals finish in this time frame that is not like a one match tiebreaker or something. Like, that was just pretty close. You can tell though that this best of 15 is setting in regardless. The fatigue is there, and it can't not be in a best of 15 bracket reset. These matches are absolute slogs to play through. You've got to sit and play map after map after map after map, and it's tough. If you're dog breaking, you're playing against a team that looks basically unstoppable. You are in front of an immovable object, and you are trying to push against it with all of your might, and maybe, just maybe, every once in a while, you get it to skid a little bit against the floor, and they are just fighting in those in-between spots right now. That's tough to do after, 14 maps played through. 15, 16, how many we've gone through? That's a lot.
When your opponent is an immovable object, you must yourself be an unstoppable force. And unfortunately, on this day, dog breaking is not proving themselves to be a collective unstoppable force. And we're getting Hard Rock 4. I forgot, because this was banned in the first set. Dog breaking banned this out in the opener as their second ban there. Left it up this time so that they could ban out the free mod 5 instead. And this was a map that CATBALL picked, I believe, pretty early on. This was their first pick against Irishmen yesterday, and they did win it pretty comprehensively as we take a look at our super precision 2B map here. It was CATBALL with a 6.1 million score yesterday against Irishmen with a 3 million team score on, I guess it's No Skip Sunday. So in we go, and CATBALL just kind of left this one by the side until later on. This isn't a break glass in case of emergency type of situation. This is a, we want to have some fun with this match, and maybe this is the avenue in which they will do so.
This is just a really tough map, and a 6 million team score on this. I would actually be surprised to see a repeat of. This is a very, very difficult precision map. These cross screens, these alternating linear patterns here, these wide angles, everything about this is what makes precision uncomfortable. And Yolkspie being a little bit of a hero right now, holding up the combo. He's going to give a pretty decent lead to dog breaking early, but my God, he does not have as much support as he needs right now. And the accuracy be damned, ain't nobody got accuracy on this map, so he's just holding on for dear life.
This is not an ACK map. This is a combo map for sure, and that is the Yolkspie specialty. And worth noting with the Yolkspie situation is he does unfortunately suffer his first break. You talked about how many maps there have been in this match, right? It's been, I think, 17, now 18 maps between the first set and this one. Yolkspie has barely played because we've played just a lot of mechanics. We played a lot of stuff that he is not in for. And so if anybody on dog breaking is going to be maybe a little bit more fresh, it is Yolkspie. So, keep an eye on that factor. But for now, it's Ahio and Kusaria that are the two making up this lead for dog breaking. It's only about 500K, but when CATBALL doesn't have any combo, 500K might as well be 500 million. As now we have the full reset, but Yolkspie still on something as we get into this wonky 2B section.
Those double combos from Ahio and Kusuria were absolutely massive because there was some significant combo on Pez and RNG, and they matched those two through the entire onslaught of it. So not only does that maintain Yolkspie's lead, but Ahio had combo out of the fact, so they gained a little bit off of that. They are going to lose a tiny bit with RNG's combo there, but he breaks, and that means that that run is now stopped. And, well, 400K is not a comfortable lead, but on a map like this where nobody can seemingly hold combo except for a couple lucky sections, this is up for grabs for everyone.
It's 300K score and just virtually meaningless amounts of combo on almost everyone. It's Flamesteer at 120, highest in the lobby, and you just see constant resets virtually everywhere else. And with the combo coming from the sliders, right, the note density is really low, so that score doesn't come very quickly. But eyes on Flames tier here as he tries to bring it back. Yolkspy is doing what he can to match, though. And for now, it's still dog breaking, maintaining the slightest of advantages here. And there goes everybody except Kusaria. All right, it is Kiroshi to try to hold on. It's 300k. Is that enough? Will that be enough? It might be enough.
I think that was all of the meaningful combos lost right there. I think this is just Kiroshi holding it through into the ending now. There is nothing they can do about a 300,000 score lead with these combos. It would take at least another 200 to 300 combo player on CATBALL to hold through the ending, and that's assuming that Kiroshi breaks anytime soon. But this triangle pattern here is so comfortable, finally under aims one on the corner, but there's nothing on CATBALL.
Well,
that's just it.
There's RNG on CATBALL. He's got 100 combo, and that sounds silly, but there's literally no combo on dog breaking, and he's only trying to combat 100,000 score. Is there anything besides spinners at the end, though?
I don't think the density's there on this map.
I don't think there's any circles.
It might be.
Oh my god. Oh my god, is it gonna go on spinners? Is it gonna go on spinners? Oh my god, it went on the spinners.
They can't do anything about it.
No way. It can't happen like this.
They literally can't do anything. They're just stuck.
You can't do anything. Oh
They've
my
just
god.
like handcuffed them and tied them to a chair at the ending. Oh my god, no.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I've been casting OSU tournaments for almost 10 years. I have never seen that happen before.
It was the combo.
It was the combo into the spinner. And then the spinner is just free score. They're so short, you can't really build up a lot of score on each spinner. But if you have additional combo going into them, you're going to just get that little bit more on every single spinner. It's actually such an advantage that they're all those tiny spinners instead of like one long spinner. That, I don't know.
Wow.
That's how you make up a score gap of 200,000 in a map like that, and that's how you give yourself match points the rest of the way through, and that's how you just break the backs of dog breaking.
I am like... I want to say that CATBALL deserved to win that map, but unironically, dog breaking played better for the entirety of the pick, and they lost because they found breaks at inopportune times on Score V1. That is just the most tragic loss of all time. I mean, Kiroshi was absolutely obliterating that map the entire time.
Man. Also, RNG saying he quit out of a 3 million score run on that, which would be an unbelievable score.
Yeah, RNG is one of the precision players in the United States right now.
RN Jesus.
RN Jesus.
And now
big name change opportunity.
Yo. Finally, oh,
yes,
we get Fremont 1. I feel like we've been waiting for 2 entire sets for Fremont 1 to be picked by dog breaking. And, you know, it may be a little late, but it's happening nonetheless. Chillier, you love mech tech, don't you?
Oh, this is quite literally my favorite skill set by so many margins. I love this map. What was the one that was Werewolf Howls that was in a while back? Yeah.
God, that might have been
it was a long time ago. Oh, it was in USC, too. That was in USC
like
Brands Hard Rock?
Several years
Last
ago.
year, too,
yeah,
I think?
I'd have to look through.
Yeah.
It's been... But, so...
I love Camellia.
I love Camellia stuff like this. This type of Camellia is my favorite. Just the bangers, you know, as opposed to the vibes.
The hardcore.
Yeah. This genre. So yeah, we talked a lot, Hubba and I did, about this map being something that should be on dog breaking's radar as a pick. I don't entirely know why they didn't pick it any sooner than this, and maybe we're gonna find out. But it feels like it would have been a good shout for them. And, you know, they're on their last gasp. This is match point for CATBALL the rest of the way through. One map from closing out the entire tournament. And so, you know, this is feeling a little bit like break glass in case of emergency at this point.
Yeah, I would like to not find out why they waited so long to pick this map, preferably. I would like to see that they are just, like, holding out for the absolute team score of destiny right now, and they were just, like, Okay, let's wait until match point. Let's pick this map, and now we've lured them into a false sense of security, and we're just going to start FCing every map or something. My eyes are on the Hard Rock players for this map by so many margins. I think that it is the hardest mod combination on this map, overhidden, and it's not even close.
Well, we'll find out. It's Pez on the Hard Rock, which is brutal because, like, he's been your best player on mechanics, and you're forcing him into the hardest mod on the pick, but you gotta have somebody on some mods, so I guess there you go. This map feels just really, really hard. I don't know what we're necessarily gonna see out of it. Like, look at these streams, man. It's just what... Yeah. Oh, man. We could see some pretty low scores on this, and I really wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, this map is tough to hold a consistent combo on. Those, like, weird pinch triangle streams are so difficult, especially when you've got the Hard Rock on and you have to sort of, like, aim up into it. You can't just linear flow your way through them like the no-mod players can. And even the no-mod players weren't able to play through those. So I'm thinking you are right. I think we are going to see some of the lowest scores on this map we've seen yet. I think it's also one of the hardest maps in the pool. And this stream right here is going to be very telling as everyone breaks on it, except for Aheo. And there he goes.
Yeah. Ahio was really crucial in the first match these teams played. Well, the first bracket match back in the winners final. And unfortunately has not been quite at that level today. Anesthetic, though, he is the tapping monster for dog breaking, it seems like, on this particular day. Has been playing really, really well and is building a little bit of a combo. But unfortunately, you've got Toki matching. Pez and Flamesteer doing their thing, and CATBALL pull the gap over to their side. They have been not too interested in relinquishing leads on most maps. Once they take any sort of advantage, they are loath to relinquish it. And so we may be seeing the beginning of the end for dog breaking unless they can do some pretty crazy stuff in the back half of this map. And there goes Anesthetic's big combo. Ethan, Trix, and Toki hold on through there. Okay, as you do. Let's see what they can build in this little slider section.
Well, not the first time Toki has done this in a Hippo Cup, as well as a previous winner of the tournament, which was, what, 4 years ago now? And he finally finds a combo break, not before getting 5.3 million with that hidden multiplier as well. That is over 1.5 million above the next closest player in the entire lobby. And Ethan Trix is just absolutely rolling this pick right now with the hidden. Flamesteer is bonus. Flamesteer is free extra combo right now. There goes Ethan. Now Flamesteer primary.
That's a full reset for dog breaking. They could not afford that down 6 million score. A four-way miss into the last third of the map. Pez still holding on to some combo because, of course, he is. I fear that the match may be coming to a bit of an end here sooner rather than later because CATBALL have had the match of their collective lives.
That square, man. That square was absolutely brutal. The reverse direction wide angle is disgusting. And Pez is just... There's nothing. There's nothing. He's got Hard Rock. He's got the multiplier. Flamesteer is matching Anesthetic. Aheo finds yet another break, and it's 10 million score, and that's just it.
Oh.
It's not even possible. Anesthetic would have to FC the entire remainder of the map. Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen. As we said, this map is so hard. There's just very, very little combo that's easy to obtain. And what is Toki doing? Was up to nearly a 500 combo there before breaking. You gotta give Toki some shoutouts because he's like the least heralded member of the CATBALL roster, but he has played very well when he's been called upon today. Just always seems to have some score, have some combo, despite usually lower accuracy. Really impressive. But the whole team, right? It's been the whole team for CATBALL this entire day. The match is going to end up a total score of 16-3, 8-2, 8-1 in favor of CATBALL. And that is not to speak ill of dog breaking. That is simply to say how well CATBALL played today, because it took all of them, and what a performance it was.
Yeah, I mean, that is to put it in ways that I guess maybe make sense in my own head, that's a 16-3 for CATBALL. It's not a 3-16 for dog breaking. If you're sort of looking at it as like a glass half full, half empty light, like this was CATBALL the entire time, and dog breaking gave this everything they had. They clearly did. They had some heroic scores from multiple members throughout both sets. And sometimes when you are just simply playing against the team who has designed their roster around this stage of the tournament, there's quite literally not much you can do. So I commend Dog Breaking for being able to make it all the way through a best of 15 bracket reset and still having some gas in the tank at the ending. But CATBALL just looked unbelievable today. They had the match of their lives, and they should be very, very happy about how they played today.
Yeah, you build a team for grand finals in one of the highest scaling tournaments, and you get 2 grand finals in one of the highest scaling tournaments, and this is what happens. Oh man, we can take a deep breath here just a little bit, because wow, what a crazy match that was. CATBALL just looked unstoppable, and that is after having been, as Ethan Trix has just mentioned in Twitch chat, they were so close to, there's a world where they don't even get through the group stage. They had to go to group stage last match tiebreaker in order to get through into the bracket in the first place. And then, of course, they go through the bracket, get to the winner's final, lose 8-3 to Dog Breaking, and you're like, okay, maybe Dog Breaking is actually their kryptonite, right? Maybe there's a chance. And then they come out this weekend. They 8-1, just stomp on the Irishmen to give them that third place finish on the podium, and it's like, okay, maybe CATBALL's here. And then they show up today, and they just continue on this absolute tear. I mean, 8-2 first set, and it was just never in doubt. They win maps that they lost the same skill set in the first match they played in the winner's final, and they come into this bracket reset, and they just keep on running. I mean, genuinely, this might be the best performance that I've seen from the vast majority of CATBALL's players in any tournament I've watched them in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the team with the highest skill cap has questionable consistency. I mean, but I guess in Hippo Cup, you know, they planned their roster perfectly. They planned their roster around a team that they knew could make it through the early stages with enough consistency, but they really focused up, and you could tell on these later stages with the skill cap on this roster, which is where it really, really matters in Hippo Cup on these late stages. And I very, very rarely see a team that executes that as well as CATBALL did this year. Like, they quite literally hit the perfect run. They skidded by early stage on just enough consistency, and then they just got stronger and stronger and stronger every single week.
Did exactly that. Man, that's the end of another Hippo Cup, isn't it?
9 of them.
We've done this thing 9 times, bro. Pretty crazy. So real quick, as we are gonna sign off here momentarily, I would just like to say a few things. First, of course, congratulations to Team CATBALL, the victors of Hippo Cup 9. Dog Breaking, an excellent fight, looked so strong through so much of this tournament, ran into a buzzsaw here in Grands, but second place is nothing to sneeze at. Third place, Irishman on the podium, man. Shout-outs to a team that has been doing it year in and year out in this tournament. Comes in, gets third place. Thank you to everyone else, of course, who participated as well. Huge thank you to everyone on the staff team this year. You can see all the names, of course, on the forum post on the spreadsheet as well. All the refs, streamers, commentators. We've had, I think, a really good squad this year. We streamed every single bracket stage match, including having to run a triple stream, a third stream using USC's stream. We managed to pull that off again. We also got to stream a whole bunch of stuff from the group stage as well, so really cool how that went down. You know, of course, some of the not most competitive matches in certain stages, but we still saw some pretty great performances, and I'm very happy with how yet another iteration of Hippo Cup has gone. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking part if you were a player. Thank you for watching if you were a spectator. Thank you for doing both if you were both, like like Chillier here, among others. And that's going to do it. I actually literally already sent the badge email, so that'll be going under review shortly. I'll have a post up in the server in just a little bit. We'll have VODs up and everything in a little bit as well once that gets uploaded. Thank you earlier to Hubba for commentating with me in the first set and a half of this. Thank you, Chillier, for joining in for the last half and the ending. And that's gonna close the book on another year of Hippo Cup. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I hope to see you all again for Hippo Cup 10 in 2027. Hippo Cup 10. Let that sink in.
That hurts.
We're getting old. We are getting old. We'll see you guys.
It's still fun, though.
It's still fun. Have a good one, everybody.